Hi, welcome back. So this is a different video that I'm doing because I often find myself doing currency conversions and I often tend to forget what the syntax would be. So I thought that I would make a currency converter and I will show you the process because this might be useful for other people as well. And I'm going to use Google Sheets for that. To start with, let's say I need to find out the currency conversion between two currencies. So in this cell, I will click on the top because I get much more space here to write than in just a small box here. So I will say Google Finance. So as you can see, I get two options, but this one is translate. I need Google Finance. I'll hit tab and then it says ticker. So here in the parentheses, the first thing I need to do is say, I'm looking for currency followed by colon. Then what is the source ticker for the currency? In this case, let's say US dollar. And what is the target currency ticker? So let's say I'm doing Canadian dollars. And then when I enter this here and enter it here, it tells me that the US dollar to CAD, the currency conversion rate is 1.36. And often what I end up doing is I cut and paste here and I do USD to CAD and I just mark this as the header and I click here. So this is the USD to CAD conversion, but this is really the two important parts here. One is it is fixed for the source and the destination. So it works well if you're just looking for one currency conversion, but if you have more in mind, how do you expand that? I will just let you know. And the second important part is it is telling you the currency exchange rate as of today, as of now. So it keeps on updating when the market is trading because the currency also do trades. So you may find yourself that you are looking at this number, which is changing all the time, but by the end of the day, it is fixed, but next it changes again. It's because it is taking the current rate as it is being traded. So if you want some stability, if you're not trading currencies and you're saying that, no, I want the currency rate as of date X in past, what you can do is you come and click here and then you put comma and then you say price. And then here you need to pass in the date format. And the date format goes by MMDDYY. So in this case, let's say 11th month, DD is 23 and the date is, let's say 2021. And if I hit enter, see what happens. Now, instead of one value, you get four values here. It tells us the currency rate is based on 23/11, 23rd November 2021, and what time and what was the close rate that it took. Now, it may be cumbersome if you're dealing with multiple currencies because you really need to know this number. So what you can do instead, you come here and then you wrap this entire function. I'm going to cut this and put index, put the entire expression again, and then put 2, 2. So it's picking the second row, second column in this case. And if I hit enter, I get the exact same rate, but somewhere in the past. Now, if you really want to expand on this idea where you do not want to tie to specific currencies, what you can do is you can say from, and then you can say to, and then you can say from to, and then rate. These are all the columns that I'm trying to make upfront so that I know what I'm going to fill. And I generally tend to color my header. And then let's say this is USD, and then I put 3 USD, and then I put CAD, and then I put 3 CAD, and then I can keep changing. I'm looking for USD to CAD, USD to NZD, USD to euros, and I can do the similar thing for the sake of comparison here. And I'm missing one more. Okay, so let's do INR in this case. So now here, what I am trying to do is I'm trying to put a text so that it's easier for me to read. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. And now in this case, what we are going to do is we want the conversion rate from source, which is USD to CAD, and do similar thing here. But if you want to do for a specific date, I also tend to keep a date column here. I will, so that it's easier for me to change. And then I will use the same DDMMY format. So I will say 11/23/2021 that I took here in this case as well, just to make sure that I'm picking up the same example. And here what I need to do, as you come here and see, we are going to use exactly the same thing, but we are going to change things a little bit in this part of the formula. So to start with, I'll take the exact same thing and I will copy and paste here. So it is going to give me the USD to CAD, but I'm going to change it now. So what I will do is after colon, I will write it down again. Currency US. Instead of saying this, I will say ampersand, and then I will say D2. So see, it highlighted USD here, and then I will put ampersand, and then I will say E, and see how E2 will be highlighted, E2, which is CAD. And the moment I do that, I get the same rate that I got here. Now, if I want the currency conversion rate for all these from to, and let me just hide this because this is not important at the moment. It's not being used in the calculation. I can just hover my cell here. And as I move it down, it's doing something, but it's saying NA. So something is not right. Oh, because it's CAD to CAD. Okay. So what we can do is we can change it to some other currency. What that could be? I don't know. Let's say I really don't know right now. So let's change it here, and then let's just delete this guy here. And I'm going to delete everything. So we'll redo this exercise, drag it again, and see all of a sudden you get the different currency rates from to. And this is how you can really make your own currency conversion sheet that you can keep track of. And if you really want to change it to some other date, you don't need to touch your formula because everything is being referenced. So I think it is not being referenced because right now it's hard coded string. So we can change this to, this is I2. So I will go back. I will delete everything here again, come here, and then I will say this is I2. And the moment I do that, it runs here. When I drag it down, it says NA. And you know why this is saying NA? Because if you click here, it's taking I2. But when I click here, it says I3. So it's really changing the IDs to have the corresponding cells, but we can really fix it to this part. So let me go back and delete it. And what I will say is, rather than I2, this is $I and $2. So we'll say, even if I drag drop things, you're only going to focus on this part of the cell. So let me just drag it again. And boom, see, everything started to work again. If I click here, everything is $I, $2, but this is a currency conversion for a specific date in the past. Now, the important thing that you can do is you can click here, and then I can start changing the dates because it recognizes the dates. Let's say I want to know December 2020 on 29th and see how this will change immediately. So I will say 22. Bam, loaded, and it changed again. And then let's say I want to change it to 24, loaded, and it changed again. So you really have this power of creating your own currency conversion and see that change in real time for any past date. And if you want current, you always have the idea of changing or removing this entire piece here. And I will remove these things here. So it always gives you, and I also don't need index here. And it always gives you the latest rate. And this is the one that gives you rate in the past for different currency conversions. Now, last thing I want to touch upon is, what if you really want to visualize this? This is not making any sense to look at the numbers. You don't know which is high, which is low, which is where this column comes in. So let me just go back and concatenate these two parts. So what I will do is I'll say concatenate. And then I will say I want to concatenate D2 with highlighted USD. And then I will say I want this is string, and then I need E2. So see how it gave me a preview of USD to CAD. So if I hit enter, it auto suggested that it seems that you're trying to do the similar expression for all the other cells. And I will say command enter or click tick sign. So I will do that. And it immediately gave me this part wherein I know USD to CAD is this rate. But the reason I really did that is because I can click all these cells, go to insert and click on chart, and see all of a sudden you have this rate versus from to. So you can see visually how these rate differences are. So definitely CAD to an INR is in magnitudes higher than other currency conversion rates. So really in this 10, 11 minutes, you have learned how to create your own currency conversion chart for the rate as of now and rate as in the past, and do the currency conversion for different currencies and being able to visualize that. So I hope that this was useful. And if there are any things that are confusing to you about Google Sheets, or you are not sure about how to do certain things here and you would like to learn more, please leave a comment below and I will make a video to help you out in that part. All right. Sounds good. This is fun. See you again.